A young woman named Layla, who has been hustling for years in her small business but finds herself overwhelmed. Despite her hard work, her growth seems stagnant. Every day feels like a race against time, juggling between client calls, managing operations, and making financial decisions. Layla is talented and ambitious, yet she can't seem to break out of this exhausting cycle. One day, a mentor recommends a book to her, Your Next 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business, Strategy by Patrick Bet-David. The mentor explains, Layla, the issue isn't your talent or drive. It's your lack of a strategy. You're moving through your business like a checkers player when you need to be playing chess. Intrigued but skeptical, Layla dives into the book, unaware of how transformative it will be. Patrick Bet-David's story resonated deeply with Layla. An immigrant from war-torn Iran, Patrick's early life was defined by uncertainty and hardship. After his family fled to the United States, he struggled to find his place in the world. He tried various jobs, some fulfilling, others not, before eventually joining the military. It was there that he discovered the importance of discipline and focus. However, it wasn't until he transitioned to the financial services industry that he began to see the picture. Success wasn't just about hard work, it was about strategy. Patrick realized that life and business, much like chess, required foresight. A good chess player doesn't think about just the next move but anticipates the next 5. This epiphany became the foundation of his book, which has since become a guide for countless entrepreneurs and leaders. The principles in the book transformed not only Patrick's life, but also the lives of people like Layla, who learned to apply its strategies to regain control and achieve their goals. Let's break down the lessons from Your Next 5 Moves and explore how they can reshape not just your business, but your entire approach to life. 1. Know yourself. Define who you are. Patrick begins the book by emphasizing the importance of self-awareness. He argues that before you can make smart moves in business or life, you must understand yourself deeply. Your motivations, strengths, weaknesses, and values. For instance, Layla discovered through the book that her drive wasn't just about earning more money. Her true motivation was creating a business that allowed her to spend more time with her family and leave a meaningful legacy for her children. This revelation was pivotal because it helped her align her actions with her goals. Patrick suggests that readers reflect on their why. Why do you do what you do? What gets you out of bed in the morning? For example, if your primary motivation is freedom, you might approach your career differently than someone motivated by recognition or competition. Patrick also introduces practical exercises to help uncover these answers. One such exercise involves writing your eulogy. By imagining what you'd want people to say about you at the end of your life, you gain clarity about what truly matters. Layla found this exercise powerful. It revealed that she wanted to be remembered not just as a successful businesswoman, but as a loving mother and mentor to others. Knowing yourself also means being honest about your strengths and weaknesses. Patrick explains that self-awareness isn't just about introspection, it's about action. For instance, if you're naturally creative but struggle with organization, you should build systems or hire someone who excels in that area. Key tip: spend time identifying your core values and strengths. For example, ask trusted friends or mentors for feedback, or take personality assessments like the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator or Strengths Finder. The more you understand yourself, the better equipped you'll be to make decisions that align with your goals. 2. Strategize like a chess player. Patrick likens business strategy to chess, where the best players think several moves ahead. He explains that successful entrepreneurs and leaders don't react impulsively to challenges. They anticipate them and plan accordingly. Layla realized this was where she had been going wrong. She had been operating reactively, always putting out fires instead of proactively planning her business growth. After reading Patrick's advice, she started mapping out her next 5 moves, just as a chess player anticipates their opponent's moves. For instance, Layla's first move was to stabilize her cash flow by cutting unnecessary expenses. Her second move was to focus on attracting higher-paying clients. Her third move was to create a scalable system that allowed her to delegate tasks effectively. By breaking her goals into smaller, actionable steps, she began to see progress. Patrick stresses that your 5 moves should align with your long-term vision. For example, if your ultimate goal is to build a $10 million company, Your immediate moves might include refining your business model, building a strong brand, and expanding your network. Key tip: write down your next 5 moves and review them regularly. For example, use a whiteboard or a digital planner to visualize your strategy. This helps you stay focused and adjust your moves as circumstances change. 3. Build the right team. Patrick emphasizes that no great success is achieved alone. Building a strong team is essential for scaling your business and achieving your goals. Layla had always struggled with delegation. She felt that no one could do the work as well as she could, so she often ended up overburdened. Patrick's book helped her realize that this mindset was holding her back. She needed to hire people who complemented her skills and shared her vision. Patrick advises looking for team members who are not just talented, but also aligned with your values. For instance, if your company culture values innovation, hire people who are naturally curious and open to new ideas. Additionally, he stresses the importance of developing your team. Leaders aren't just bosses, they're mentors. Layla followed this advice and hired a skilled operations manager who streamlined her business processes. This allowed her to focus on what she did best: building client relationships and growing the business. Key tip: focus on hiring for strengths that you lack. For example, if you're a visionary leader, hire someone who excels in execution and detail-oriented work. This creates balance and efficiency within your team. 4. Learn to manage risk. Risk is an inevitable part of growth, but Patrick argues that it's not about avoiding risk. It's about managing it intelligently. For Layla, this lesson hit home when she considered expanding her business to a new market. The idea excited her, but the financial investment felt daunting. Patrick's advice helped her approach the situation strategically. She weighed the potential rewards against the worst-case scenarios and identified ways to mitigate the risks, such as starting with a pilot program before committing fully. Patrick explains that calculated risks often lead to breakthroughs. For example, when he launched his own company, PHP Agency, he knew the risks were high, but he also had a clear plan for managing them. Key tip: before taking a big risk, list all possible outcomes and create contingency plans. 5. Master the art of communication. Patrick emphasizes that communication is the cornerstone of leadership. Whether you're leading a team, negotiating a deal, or pitching an idea, your ability to convey your message clearly and persuasively can make or break your success. Layla realized that her struggles in managing her team stemmed from poor communication. She often assumed her employees understood her expectations, but this wasn't always the case. After applying Patrick's advice, she began holding regular team meetings, clearly outlining goals, and actively listening to her team's feedback. Patrick also shares techniques for improving communication, such as learning to tell compelling stories and adapting your message to your audience. For example, when pitching to investors, focus on the big picture and the potential return on investment. When speaking to your team, emphasize their role in achieving the company's mission. Key tip: practice active listening and tailor your communication to your audience. For example, use data and logic when speaking to analytical thinkers, and use emotional appeals when addressing creative individuals. By the end of the book, Layla's business was unrecognizable. She had gone from feeling overwhelmed and reactive to confident and strategic. Each chapter of Your Next 5 Moves offered her tools to not only grow her business, but also create a life aligned with her vision.